You know, there's this misconception that I have this obsession with egg gadgets, and that's not true. That is absolutely not true. I began my channel doing only As Seen on TV products 3.5 years ago, and the As Seen on TV industry is the one obsessed with the egg gadgets. I'm just the one reviewing their products. And even though I've moved away from a lot of As Seen on TV products, I still do them as they come out. So today I'm doing yet another egg gadget, that's right. This one's heavily requested. It came out, I believe, in early 2020. So today's video is the eggpod. I'll be honest, I wasn't going to do the eggpod. I've been getting requests for this for 4 or 5 months. I kind of resisted because not only have I done an inordinate amount of egg products, but I don't think it was going to last. I thought the public would reject yet another egg product from the As Seen on TV industry, but I was wrong. It's still out there. People are still asking for it, so I wanted to try it out. The eggpod's a pretty simple device. Basically, it holds 4 eggs. You put a little bit of water in there. You nuke it for about 9 minutes, let it sit. You shake it up, and then you supposedly have perfectly peeled, hard-boiled eggs. So it seems like it would be a pretty simple procedure, and it kind of was. The big question is, would it work or not? And surprisingly, it did. Check it out. I just grabbed a few of the egg products I've done over the years, which again, it's the As Seen on TV industry, not me. But we have the Easy Egg Witch. Recently I did the Poach Pods, the Neg, the Stonewave microwave cooker, which was heavily advertised for cooking eggs in the microwave, the Eggtastic, which is a microwave cooker. Got this at a dollar store, $1. I don't even remember what this one's called. It was an egg cracker that didn't really work. We also had the Eggstractor, which also didn't work so well. And probably the egg product that I found to be the most useful, the Copper Chef Perfect Egg Maker. There must be a reason there's so many egg products out there. But I gotta review it anyways, right? It's a pretty simple device. It has an aluminum interior. You put 4 eggs in those indentions. You use this fill cup, which the fill line is right there at the top, almost impossible to see. But right up there is the fill line, 50 milliliters of water. Taking a closer look at the beautiful egg pod. Actually, let's take a look at the beautiful egg pod instructions. Step 1, unlock by pulling the tabs down. Well, it's already unlocked. Okay, step 1's done. Measure 50 milliliters of water and fill the bottom of the egg pod. Easy enough. Step 3, put 4 eggs in there. Step 4, put the lid back on. Lock it. Lock and load. All right, well, that's easy enough. 9 minutes. So once my 9 minutes is up, we're going to step 6, which is to let it sit in the microwave for 2 minutes. All right, it's done. Now we have 2 minutes to wait before I take it out of the microwave. So while I'm waiting for that in the microwave, I heard some strange kind of crackling sounds while it was cooking in there. Hopefully it didn't explode. A little bit nervous, but we'll see. I got 1.5 minutes left. A little bit excited. Not really. And here we go. It doesn't feel too hot, but I'm probably going to use pot holders anyways. And for the big reveal, that's kind of hot. Well, they don't look any worse for wear, so now the next step is to run them under cold water for 2 minutes. Place in the sink and carefully remove the top. Run under cold water for 2 minutes. Seems like kind of a waste of water, but we'll do it anyways. Now the next step says with water still in the egg pod, replace the top and lock into place. Hold the unit by its handles and shake vigorously up and down. I can't tell you how bad of a feeling I have about this, but it says shake vigorously up and down 10 times. Will I be bathing in egg water? We shall see. 8, 9, 10. What do you guys think? Is this gonna work? I don't know. I have my doubts. Time for the big reveal. Here we go. And this one doesn't look like it got cracked at all. Maybe I'll try a few more shakes. See, at this point, all you're doing is the same thing as the Neg does, which you put water in there and shake the egg around in the water. Exact same principle. And this didn't really work better than using a regular cup. Let me do some more shakes. Well, that's a little more like it. That might have been too much shaking. Well, let's see though. Maybe not. I got a lot of water on the counter. A lot of egg water on the counter. Let's see here. Let's take one of these out. Well, you know, I mean, I have to say that the first one peeled pretty easily. Let me try another one. Wow. I mean, I had pretty low expectations for this, but so far, these first couple that I peeled exceeded those low expectations at least. As many egg products as I've done, most of them I have low expectations for. It did what it said it's going to do, but let's cut it open now and see how the eggs actually look on the inside. Well, I'm not sure what else you could really ask for. I think it actually worked. Let me try it out. I'm just kidding. Need salt. I should point out, in my experience of doing so many egg gadgets, that there are some variables that need to be considered. The power of your microwave will be something that will affect the amount of time it takes to cook these. The type of egg you use. Some eggs have thicker shells than others. Some are larger. All those things are going to factor in. You're going to have to deal with some trial and error. Fortunately, the eggs that I chose and the microwave power that I have and everything seemed to work out according to their instructions, and first time through, I got it to work right. Not everybody's going to have it right the first time. Now, do you need a product like the eggpod? That's another story. It's a single-use product. You can do the same thing with stuff that's already in your kitchen, like a pot. And really 9 minutes plus letting it sit, it really isn't that much faster than 15 minutes in a pot that you could cook a whole bunch of eggs in. So I'm not particularly sold on the eggpod, even though I think it works. Just because something works doesn't mean you need to buy it. So because the eggpod test was so short, because it worked the first time, I thought to myself, well, what else could you do to microwave hard-boiled eggs? So I looked on the internet, and a lot of people say you can just do it in a regular bowl. So I'll be honest, I actually had to do it a couple times to get it right. The first time was kind of a failure because the recipe that I looked for had 2 eggs for 4 minutes, let it sit in the microwave for 3 minutes, then add to ice water, and then peel it. And as you can see, it was not done yet. So I did it a second time, and that time it was actually properly cooked. But the only thing is that I didn't do the shake technique like you do with the egg pod, so it was a bit of an effort to peel it properly. If I had put it in something like the neg or a cup and shook it around, I probably would have been easier to peel. Besides just using a pot of water, you could even just use a bowl. You don't really need the egg pod, unless it's something that you think you want. I mean, some people will want the egg pod. I do think that it will work if not the first time, but with some trial and error. So if you think the egg pod looks good, I think that most people will get it to work right. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Will it work right the first time for everybody? Probably not. I got to work right the first time, so I consider myself lucky. Of all the egg gadgets I think that I've reviewed over the years, I would say that the Copper Chef Perfect Egg Maker is probably the one that I use the most, that I think that it has held up over time. It does create hard-boiled eggs in a similar fashion, but it's self-contained. You don't have to put it in the microwave. It actually steams it within the unit itself. That one I actually still use. Most of the egg gadgets, they're out in the boneyard. I don't use them. All right, so that's it for the egg pod video. Again, I think it works. If it looks appealing to you, it might take a couple tries, but I think you'll get it to work. And with that said, let's move on to the bonus round where I've got a couple of questions and a couple of shout outs before I close this video out. Andrea in Canada on Facebook asked, do you ever feel frustrated with the amount of excess plastic wrap and packaging of the products? Yeah, I mean, that's not just a product thing, that's an Amazon thing too. I mean, how many times have you got a package for something small and it's in this giant box with a bunch of filler? I mean, there's gotta be a better way, right? I mean, not only that, but some of these products are almost impossible to get out of there. I mean, I think the age of minimalist packaging is on the horizon if we're not already getting to that. But yeah, it does frustrate me. I think there's a lot of waste, unnecessary waste when it comes to packaging products. Kaylee on YouTube asked, when did you start to feel comfortable on YouTube and in front of the camera? I'm not sure I'm still comfortable yet. I can definitely say my early videos, I was still learning what it's like to be on camera, because sometimes what you think you're portraying and what you actually portray are not the same thing. It took me a while to really get comfortable. I would say after 100 videos, I felt pretty comfortable, and after 200 videos, I felt even more comfortable. I'm probably on the slow end of that curve, but it took me quite a while to really feel like I could be myself on camera. Haven't done this before, and I don't do shout outs. I think I've done a few in the past, but I know that some people think the shout outs are kind of useless, and maybe they are, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because this is extra material. Anthony in Florida sent me a message on Facebook, and he asked me to give a shout out to his wife, Christina. He said they're both big fans of the channel. I appreciate you, Anthony and Christina in Florida. In fact, that's a great state, because I was born there. And I do appreciate you guys watching the channel. I I'm grateful for anybody that spends more than 5 minutes on my channel. I also wanted to shout out my Uncle Corky. I'm not sure if he even likes being called Corky. That's all I've known him as, but my Uncle Corky, it turns out, watches my channel. I don't really see him too much, but I heard from a cousin that he does watch my channel. So Uncle Corky, it's awesome that you watch my channel. My Uncle Corky actually reminds me quite a bit of my dad, so I'm glad that Uncle Corky's out there watching my channel, because my dad never really got to see it. And if you don't like being called Uncle Corky, then let me know next time I see you, because I've always called you that. So next up, this would be kind of a funny one. I want to shout out my cousin Chad, who's kind of new on YouTube. I think he's only a year younger than me. He just recently got on YouTube, and he's kind of learning the ropes. He's still kind of figuring it out. It'd be kind of funny if a few of you blew up his comments and saying that Cousin Freakin' Reviews sent you. All right, so that's it, guys. Nice, fun, short video this time. I'll be back in a few more days with another video. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.